When a name as massive as Jay-Z gets hit with career-ending allegations, what happens next? Today, we're going to dig into the firestorm that surrounded him and the seriously calculated public relations playbook he used to fight back. Let's break it down.
And that's really the big question here, isn't it? This whole thing is a story about more than just one person. It's about law, it's about loyalty, and it's about legacy. So we're going to unpack the moves they made, the story they tried to tell, and the high-stakes game of saving your reputation when everything is on the line.
Okay, so this all kicks off with a legal bombshell. And you gotta understand, this story isn't just about Jay-Z in a vacuum. Nope, it's about how he got pulled right into the middle of that much wider scandal involving Sean Diddy Combs.
So let's get the timeline straight, because the sequence here is everything. It starts in December 2024. Jay-Z gets added to a civil lawsuit accused of a pretty serious assault on a minor that allegedly happened way back in 2000. Then, just about 2 months later, the accuser changes the lawsuit again, and poof, Jay-Z's dropped from the case. But he's not done. A few months after that, he goes on the attack, filing his own defamation lawsuit against his accuser and her lawyers. It's a textbook case of attack, retreat, and a major counterattack.
So while all this legal drama is unfolding, the public drama is heating up. And the really crazy part? The pressure wasn't just coming from the outside. It seemed to be coming from inside his own family circle. And this is where the story takes a really fascinating turn.
Right as the news is blowing up, one single click on social media sends absolute shockwaves through the internet. And we're not talking about some random troll or a critic. No. This came from someone you would think is as deep in the inner circle as you can possibly get.
And this slide just lays it all out perfectly. On one side, you have a news post detailing these terrible allegations against Jay-Z. And on the other side, the action. The official account of Tina Knowles, as in Beyoncé's mom, publicly liking that very post. I mean, to a lot of people, this looked like a huge, maybe accidental, sign that something was very wrong inside the family.
The cleanup operation was immediate. Tina Knowles put out this statement claiming her account was hacked, and then dropping this super powerful line, "No weapon formed against my family shall prosper." It's the classic defense, right? It wasn't me, and we're a united front.
But here's where the story gets really messy. She claims her account was hacked. Okay, but that claim was almost immediately torpedoed by another action. She reportedly unfollowed Jay-Z on Instagram. I mean, that one move just puts a massive crack in the whole "I was hacked" story, and just poured fuel on all the speculation.
So with the story totally spiraling, it was time for Jay-Z himself to step up and grab the steering wheel. This wasn't just about denying things anymore. This was about completely reframing the conversation, and he picked a very, very public stage to do it.
He sits down for this huge interview with GQ, and he doesn't just deny it. He talks about how the whole thing made him feel. By focusing on his uncontrollable anger, he flips the script. Suddenly, he's not the alleged perpetrator. He's the victim of a vicious lie that's tearing him up inside.
And then he makes this really interesting move. He actually brings up his criminal past, not to hide from it, but to use it as a defense. He basically argues that even when he was on the streets hustling, there was a code, a line you just didn't cross, especially when it came to women and kids. He's literally using his past as a drug dealer as proof of his moral character today.
And what he's saying in public, it lines up perfectly with what his lawyers are doing behind the scenes. In their legal papers, his team flat out calls the lawsuit a blackmail attempt. The message, both in court and out, was exactly the same. This isn't about truth, it's about trying to shake him down for money. But, not everyone was buying this whole street code argument. A lot of people, like this commenter from the source material, were quick to point to Jay-Z's own history. We're talking about shooting his own brother, dealing crack in his community, cheating on his wife, cutting out business partners. For critics, all of that made his new claims about having this strict moral code seem, well, a little hard to believe.
So with his side of the story out there, Jay-Z moves on to the next, and maybe the most brilliant part of the whole strategy. The playbook is simple. If you can't kill a bad story, you create a news story that's so big and so positive, it just completely overshadows it. And that is exactly what he did. Right in the middle of all this chaos, he announces 2 massive, career-defining anniversary shows at Yankee Stadium. This wasn't just a concert announcement. No way! This was a power move, designed to make everyone stop talking about lawsuits and start talking about his legendary status.
So did it work? Well, this one number tells you everything you need to know. A reported 1.6 million people were in the online queue trying to get tickets. That is a staggering show of support.
It basically proved that no matter what the headline said, his power in the culture was as strong as ever.
What he pulled off here is what PR pros call a textbook diversion tactic. The goal is simple: get everyone talking about your greatest hits, your sold-out stadiums, your legacy, and in doing so, you just drowned out all the negative noise from the scandal. It's managing your reputation through pure spectacle.
So when you step back and look at all the pieces, the legal moves, the family drama, that big interview, the stadium shows, you start to see it. It's not random. A clear, deliberate strategy emerges. You could even call it a masterclass.
And here it is, the whole playbook boiled down to 3 simple steps. Step 1, deny and sue. Don't just play defense, go on offense with your own defamation lawsuits. Step 2, control the narrative. Use a big-time, friendly interview to tell the story exactly how you want it told. And finally, Step 3, remind them you're a legend. Launch a massive event that celebrates your legacy and makes the controversy feel tiny in comparison.
And all of this leaves us with one last big question. When a cultural icon gets accused of something terrible, what actually matters more in the court of public opinion? The truth of the allegations themselves, or the power and skill of the playbook used to make them go away? It's a tough question about fame, power, and what we choose to believe.